Hello, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield. Can you believe it? It is already day 5 of the 2015 Betfred World Snooker Championship. 5 more first-round matches for you today. Later this afternoon, we'll see the 2005 World Champion Shaun Murphy. And later this evening, Judd Trump begins his quest to become World Champion. But this morning, it's all eyes on Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Technical. Ronnie O'Sullivan has one major advantage over his competitors. He plays the game both left and right-handed to an amazing standard. He can get at shots where other players would have awkward cueing or need to use the rest. Nothing unusual about the way he grips the cue, but although it looks relatively firm, it's loose enough not to stifle the finesse he often utilises in his positional play. His feathering has a natural rhythm to it. It reminds me of the action of a top darts player setting up for the throw.
The old parallel cueing theory is torn up by the rocket. With the butt of the cue relatively high in the air, Ronnie guarantees his smooth stroke is never cramped. Ronnie gets through the ball better than anyone else in the game. That means more action on the cue ball and a greater variety of shots available to him.
Tactical. A break builder of breathtaking ability. He sees shots so quickly that he rarely breaks his stride around the table. This rhythm means he never has time to outthink himself, and in a nutshell, gives his natural ability every chance to take control.
Safety is not the first word that comes to mind when you think of the Rocket, but he is one of the best safety players in the game, and is always safety with a purpose.
Psychological.
Much has been made of Ronnie's mental approach to the game. Only he knows what is going on inside, but when he's in the right frame of mind to play, he has a rock-solid temperament.
Perhaps the game comes so easily and naturally to him that it doesn't give him enough of a challenge. As far as weaknesses go, it's not a bad one to have.
No problems at all yesterday in his match with Craig Steadman with his cueing, but a few issues with his shoes. Pretty bizarre moment during the match. Ronnie had new shoes on, felt very uncomfortable, had to play in his socks, asked the audience, anybody got a spare pair of size 8 or 9s? That's the tournament director Mike Ganley there, warning him if he carries on playing in his socks he faces a fine. So nobody in the audience had them, but Mike Ganley, the tournament director, offered his not so smart shoes. Ronnie plays on in those shoes. Let's take a look at Ronnie's very smart shoes today. Let's hope these ones fit him a little better. He's got a fresh pair on today by the looks of it. He needs 3 frames to book his place in the second round against Craig Steadman. That's our match for you on BBC Two this morning. Another match for you today in the first round. World number 9 Joe Perry, who lost to O'Sullivan in the last 16 here in 2014, takes on Zhang Anda of China, making his second Crucible appearance. It's a beautiful day here in Sheffield. Lots of fans out getting a glimpse of Ronnie O'Sullivan today. Let's join our MC, Rob Walker.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Day 5 will keep the dream alive for 3 more players at this year's Betfred World Snooker Championship as the drive continues to make the second round here at the sport's spiritual home. Please welcome a player making his first appearance here since 2010. He beat compatriot Liang Wenbo 10-9 in the qualifiers to book his second visit to the Crucible. He reached the last 16 at the Aussie Open 2 years ago and then battled his way back onto tour through Q School. Here he is, ready to dig deep again, Zhang Anda. And his opponent, a player making his 13th appearance at the Crucible. Made the semis here back in 08, but perhaps most significantly of all, in this his 24th year as a pro, at the tender age of 40, all the hard work came to pass in Thailand last month when he secured his first ranking title. So please welcome the reigning PTC Grand Final champion, the gentleman, Joe Perry. And on table 2, please welcome a player who has battled for years for the chance of a Crucible debut. He regained his place on tour through Q School at the start of this season and beat ranking finalist Jamie Burnett in the final round of qualifiers. Let's hear the Crucible roar once more for Craig Rocksteady Steadman. And finally, a player who's been thrilling the crowds here for more than 2 decades. He won his first ranking title at 17, the most recent at 39. 22 years of world-class snooker, whatever the footwear. Reigning UK champion, 5 times a world champion. Blink and you'll miss him, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
It's a great shot, isn't it, when you see Ronnie there walking into such a wonderful venue. So Ronnie O'Sullivan v Craig Steadman, 3 more frames and Ronnie will be into the second round. That's our match for you live here from the Crucible on BBC Two. However, if you want Joe Perry v Zhang Anda, that's available on your red button in the company of Willie Thorne and Terry Griffiths. This morning, though, it's a very good morning to Ken Doherty and John Virgo.
Thank you, Craig Steadman, to break.
And once again, the Crucible Theatre packed to capacity, and of course the reason, or the main reason, the Rocket's on show. But it's Craig Steadman who gets the second session of this match underway. Best of 19, first to 10. Ronnie needing 3. Nice opening red, but that cue ball needs to slow down.
1.
Well, he's a chance of the pot on the green, but why not play it? Nice clean pot. It's a bit too much pace. Just playing safe.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
I did this match yesterday, Ken, and considering his first time here, I thought Craig Steadman performed very well. If it hadn't been for a few missed blacks off the spot, this scoreline would have been a lot closer.
Yeah, I was watching it upstairs, and he certainly got his chances, that's for sure. It's always difficult, though. I mean, it's a great draw in one respect, but it's a baptism of fire in plenty of others. To draw Ronnie O'Sullivan in your first match, first appearance at the Crucible. But he had his chances, there's no doubt about that. And
can you turn the volume
maybe
down
if it had been a different tournament.
a bit loud, thank you.
Might have taken a few more of those chances, and this match would have been a lot closer.
In this area here.
Of course, Ronnie's sporting a new pair more comfortable shoes, John, than he was wearing yesterday.
Yeah, apparently they were pinching his toe. That was the word.
Touching ball on.
Nothing worse than a toe pincher.
No. They're probably not new ones. It's very unusual for a player to play with new shoes, particularly if they've got leather soles, because on the carpet it can be very slippy. Okay, going to the balk area as long as he covers the path to the red just above the green, but he's not quite done that. Now, the one thing about Craig Steadman, which I was very impressed with yesterday, he didn't take a negative approach to the game. He played an open, free-flowing type of game, which, okay, you could think would suit Ronnie, but that's the way he played, and that's the way he prefers to play. So it was good stuff he was playing, as I say, but can't afford to miss blacks off the spot.
Yes, he had some very impressive results in the qualifiers before he came here. Michael White particularly, and even Jamie Burnett has been on the tour a long time. As to beat him to qualify, two very notable scalps.
One.
They're never easy, those. There's not a lot of nap on these cloths, but what little there is, you've got to allow for it, playing at that speed across the table. And it maybe just dived into the blue a little bit, the cue ball, so here's a chance for Craig. Now looking for a nice angle on the black, because there's no loose reds.
One.
Played it nicely on the black, but not the perfect angle to try and bring anything to play. I don't think there's a plant anywhere. Trying to get the pace. Let's have a look at that again.
Eight.
Bouncy, bouncy. Look at the cue ball, stayed on the table.
Craig Steadman, 8.
He's left Craig Steadman another long red. You can take this on with quite a bit of confidence, because he can only leave the red that he's playing here. Playing the cue ball off side cushion, top cushion, back up for the black, and won't be leaving anything if he does take this, unless the red stays down this end of the table. It's pretty straight. Doesn't like it. First impressions of Ronnie yesterday, John?
I was quite impressed. I thought he was cueing well. I think sometimes we come in expecting too much from him. Expecting 100 breaks every frame, but I thought he played well and he kept his composure. And as you well know, Ken, the first round for the seed, I don't care who you are, it's a nerve-wracking affair.
Of course it is.
Trying to avoid that kiss on the black and trying to get around the back of the black. He's left the red here to corner pocket. It's not straightforward to get out for the blue here. Digging down on the cue ball. Played it well.
It's not the best chance, obviously, now with the black up at the other half of the table, but he's got the blue in the middle of the table on its spot, and possibility he could get the pink into play at some time. A lot will depend if he does play for the pink. Having said that, he's wrong side of the blue. Now he's just coming round to have a look whether he can just drop this red in the middle. They always look easier on this overhead shot than they actually are. It's a lot narrower an angle, potted angle than it appears. It's one of those, as long as you're straight and just drop it in dead weight. Just got to give it though every due care and attention.
30.
Yeah, surely he'd be trying to get that red that's closest to the pink. After this blue, well, he's going to take the one just that's blocking the path of the pink when it goes back on the spot, but he wants that pink back on its spot as soon as possible. Good chance to try and take the pink after this red.
90.
He can stun behind the red that's closest to the pink back into the opposite middle pocket if he wishes. But the pink going back on its spot will certainly help.
$25.
Just the pink pot into this left-hand corner pocket. Looks very tight.
Yeah, it certainly goes into the right corner, and the fact that he's had a look at the pink to the right corner, well, it does go in the left corner as well. But he's decided
26.
to play like this. He'll be hoping he's just off straight, so in potting it, he can run through and disturb these four reds, but too straight. Be a little bit annoyed. Just wanted that cue ball to stop 2 inches shorter than where it went.
Tell you what I have noticed, John, the table here, absolutely playing very, very quick. It's cut out a few players over the course of the few days since Saturday. And particularly the cushions as well are very, very lively.
32.
He's just having a look to see will this red go into the right centre as soon as he pots this red.
33.
Might be able to dislodge these 3 reds when potting this pink. That's a nice shot. Wonderful shot.
$39. $40.
Well, when he came to the table, John, you said it wasn't a great chance, but all of a sudden, a few shots later, and it's the frame's at his mercy here. Oh, just slowed up that.
$46.
Yeah, he didn't judge the pace of that shot, so it's just a safety. That cue ball is very close to the corner, needs to slow up. Needs to slow up.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 46. Craig Steadman, 4.
Now, there's 2 reds in the middle of the table here. Craig having a look at the possibility of the plant. If they are, Ronnie missed a trick there, because he could have played for them. And they can be made, no doubt. Ronnie never spotted them. Well, Ronnie might have a look at them this time around if he can get through to them. And he can get through. This is a plant and it can be made. No doubt about that. All right, it might just be going to the left jaw as we look, but if you hit the first red on the left-hand side, it pushes the second red to the right-hand side. Well, he's not taking it on. Surprises me.
Well, the blue has come to his rescue there. It's blocked. The two reds on the right-hand side of the table. I'm surprised both players haven't had a look at that plant. And they feel maybe it's gone to the left-hand side, pushing, and it's.
Yeah, but
It's
even
certainly
here,
makeable. It is makeable. There's not doubt
even
about it.
here, I mean, Craig can hit the edge of it and reverse the plant. So you see, the virtual thing, it's just on the right. But if you hit the first red on the right-hand side, it pushes the second red to the left. But he's not taking it. The problem with that shot, if he didn't get a good cue ball, he was going to leave a pot to this right corner, and that's exactly what he's done.
One.
Yeah, cued it in nicely. I don't think he's on the pink. So may put the green safe with a 37-point lead. Green or brown safe, yeah, just checking the scores.
Yeah, 37-point advantage. But there's still a possible 59 left, so this frame not over yet by a long way. Just trying to leave the cue ball in as position as he can, but I think there's an edge that he can get to, those two reds just below the pink. That's the edge, so you think if he caught that edge he'd be safe, but
Well, this is a possible shot as well, John. Maybe the double and bringing the cue ball back behind the green. Well, he went for it. Wasn't far away.
funny thing with Craig, I was chatting to him yesterday, and he said he just felt that being at the Crucible, and he was just waiting for the nerves to kick in. He said, but I've never felt so comfortable in my life. Told it was a plant, didn't I? Well, he certainly didn't play that. And he was saying he was more nervous in the qualifiers, which is understandable. And to get here, of course, the mecca of snooker, so to speak. He said, but I'm just waiting for the nerves to kick in. He said, I've never felt so comfortable in a match.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
So Ronnie just trying to send that red up to the balk end. Leave the cue ball near the top cushion. He did that, and the red went in. Easy enough safety shot this off the red on the left-hand side of the table. Swing it round and, well, it'd be a bonus if he could get in behind the brown.
Yeah, that's the angle you're talking about, John. Lots of side. Anywhere up behind the... No, the red is a bonus. Where's the cue ball?
1.
It's not too bad. Now, the only problem is he's 37 behind. 43 still remaining on the table, but he'd love to get that black out a little bit from the cushion. And that's why he's going to take the black instead of the brown here.
Craig Steadman, 1. Thank you.
It's not very difficult to hit these two reds, but trying to get them safe is trusting a lot of luck here. But Ronnie doesn't want to give 4 points away. He wants to try and make it. It's hard for his opponent, and that's why he's not bothered. Just doesn't want to give the 4 points away. He's got to try and make Craig Steadman get 2 high-valued colours with the reds, but he's left them. Yeah, blue or pink will do.
Yeah, he just didn't control that cue ball as he would have liked, but it shouldn't be a problem. He's got to be careful. Remember, that blue's going to go back on its spot in the middle of the table. He doesn't want to snooker himself on the red.
Oh.
Well, that's a shame.
Craig Steadman, 1.
And that can only be put down to a little bit of tension in the arm. And now Ronnie just pots the red, and he'll go 37 points in front with just 27 remaining.
1. Five.
Doesn't matter about the yellow. I'm certain
Well,
Craig will concede. He'll be disappointed that he missed that blue when he was given a glimpse of a chance to get back in that frame, but he couldn't take it. And Ronnie moves further clear now, 6 frames, just needing 2 more for a place in the second round. Yeah, we talk about missed opportunities, Ken, and of course that's what this match is all about. Now, I did it yesterday, and we can just have a look at, well, you could say 4 shots that cost him maybe 4 frames.
Yeah, and a lot of them were similar shots, weren't they? This one, he probably thought this was in. There you see, he gets up and he's walking around, thought it was in, but it fell to the top jaw.
That one, he just needed the black to go 35 points in front. And that one, he just got all the reds open, looked a perfect frame-winning opportunity. And those 4 misses cost him, you would say, particularly the third black we saw, he only needed the black, and Ronnie had needed 2 snookers.
Yeah, and as you said, he got the opportunities, just didn't take enough of them, and the match could have been a lot closer coming into this morning's session. But it does funny things to you. I know he may feel, I'm waiting for the nerves to kick in, but this place does funny things to you, particularly your first time here.
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Takes a while to get used to it. So Ronnie O'Sullivan breaks off frame 11. Just 2 more. Left-handed break off, but he's hit the blue. Doesn't at first glance look like he's left anything. Match time coming up to almost 2 hours 40.
Just a bit short of pace on that Saves the shot. Yeah, just going back and thinking about that nerves, it's the same as a lot of places, you know. I mean, I'm certain Craig has watched the snooker on the television from the Crucible, you know, the World Championship. It's every dream for anyone who picks up a cue to get here. And then you're thinking, oh, it must be really nerve-jangling. But as I say, he said he's waiting for it to come on. And, of course, it can always leave you with that empty feeling, that bit of an anti-climax, really. But he's just he was playing cueing a little bit smoother than this morning. He just looks to be jabbing at the ball a little bit more than he did yesterday.
Yeah, and he's left Ronnie this red over the left-hand corner pocket, but because the black is not available into the right corner, not quite sure whether he can get enough power on this back down the table. Well, decided against even attempting the red.
Yeah, that was a bit of an error from Ronnie. Highly unlikely he was going to avoid the double kiss playing it like this. Could have left something easier than he has.
One.
Well, that's nice. Little bonus. Staying on the blue here. He's got a couple of reds around the blue spot that he can get on here. Black's tied up for the moment, so
6.
we'll have to concentrate on blue, on ball colours for a while. Pink also tied up.
Seven.
Obviously didn't want the kiss on the yellow, but as it happens, he's okay. But he wants to get better control of his cue ball. Can't rely on nice little kisses like that. Once again, he's not come far enough down on this red. He wants to be on this red in a position where he can just roll it in and get a nice angle on the blue. Can't get the good angle on the blue now. So playing
10.
for it in the far right corner. Wouldn't expect him to miss it.
$15. 16.
Once again, didn't get into the cue ball. Wanted to be another, well, top side of the blue. He's going to have to go with the white in and out of balk now. Lots of top spin down for these reds around the black.
$21.
I think that's end of break. That red below the pink doesn't pot. Be disappointed with that. He had a couple of chances to get top side of the blue and bring some more reds into play, but as you said, John, he was struggling with position.
Craig Steadman, 21.
nicely played safety shot. You will notice with the top players, when they're playing good safety, they never kiss into a baulk colour. And if you don't kiss into a baulk colour, every chance you could get a snooker makes it a good safety, and that's not a bad one. Ronnie can't get through to the red that's possible into the right corner. I don't think he can get through a gap between blue and pink. Let's have a look. This is Ronnie's view. No, there's no gap between the blue and pink to play safe down the right-hand side of the table as he looks. So he's in a spot of bother here. Maybe just play a containing safety and leave the cue ball near the top cushion. That's all he could do. Well, he did flick the brown, but not thick enough to hold the cue ball near the baulk line. Well, he's got to catch this pretty thin. Beautifully played.
Just looking down the line there, I don't think he has enough of that red to actually pot. But he certainly doesn't want to leave it there. So he may just play contained and safety shot here. Well, will Ronnie be tempted at the red just below the blue into the right centre? It's tricky. Cue ball may be running into the blue, so not this time.
Opportunity now for Craig to play an aggressive safety, should he so wish. Play safe off that cluster just below the pink. But no, doesn't want to do it. Is he taking the pot on? No, just the safety. But catching the baulk colour, it's not a good safety now. Cue ball on the baulk line rather than the baulk cushion. Well, that will amaze Ronnie. He couldn't believe that red could go through what seemed an impossible gap to go over the corner. But that's what's happened. Felt certain he was going to kiss another red and stay in the middle of the table, so it's on. It's a thin one. Oh, he's got into his hit it too thick.
One.
He wanted to catch that a lot thinner than that. To get back up for the blue, but that trace of left-hand side he had on and catching it almost half ball. That's why he finished up in the reds and on nothing.
Bramble.
He's nominated brown. It will be called a miss all day long because, of course, he can get through to the black, but he can't play safe off the black. He's played this nicely. Good shot. Well played.
Craig Steadman, 1.
was looking very closely there. See if he'd covered the path to this red to the right or left corner, but I don't think he has. Just the brown making it slightly awkward cueing. Played. Oh, I was going to say played it nicely, but just flicked the red. If he'd just got past that red, he'd have been on the black. Just didn't get into the cue ball enough.
Yeah, it was unlucky, wasn't it? It was a good pot. Here's the little flick on the first red there. But for that, would have been nicely on the black, so just a safety shot now.
Green ball.
He wants to take the green, but possibly kiss the cue ball into the brown here. Well, he's left him down this side. And that's, well, pretty straightforward for Ronnie here. I'm a bit surprised with Craig Steadman. Could have put the cue ball somewhere near the brown. And he may pay for that mistake on the casual safety shot there, because now he's in a bit of trouble. This looks pretty good again from Ronnie. Judging that very well around the four cushions. May have snookered him. Is there a gap between yellow and blue?
There's always a gap.
Mind the gap.
Problem was, of course, he could find the gap, but he couldn't avoid knocking a red towards the corner pocket. Ronnie may be tempted by this, and the reason I say that, because I don't see an easy safety. It's a thin cut, he'd trust to luck with position, but if he pots the red, at least he gets to play the next shot. So is he on the colour? Is he going to creep past the black and be on the pink? No, this frame's gone very awkward. And sometimes it's just the way the balls run that dictate how the frame's played out. Just a little bit more pace would have been on the pink. But obviously not on it. If he was on it, he'd have potted it and potted another red and a couple of pinks by now. Knowing Ronnie. Yeah, can't even hit the pink.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
And we played that well. Got through the gap to find the balk end of the table. Okay, maybe a little bit pacier than he would have liked, but nevertheless, it was still a good shot to find the route back to balk. much too thick. Well, he may be saved by the fact that the cue ball's gone close to the side cushion. But this red just above the black, I think, will pot to the left corner. He played it well, and if he stops short of the baulk line, he'll be nicely on the yellow. And he is. And this is a good chance now for Ronnie. You always felt, Ken, didn't you, that he was going to get the better of that safety exchange?
Yeah, and he picked a nice red out there. That was quite difficult from that side cushion, but perfect on the yellow. Just have a look at this again. Never easy off the side cushion now. Just put it into an area, red beside the pink. Looks favourite.
3.
Get the pink and black back on its spot as soon as possible.
4. Ten. 11.
He's got a nice angle just to pot the pink and go into those two reds there. Well, maybe not on this occasion. The only possible saving grace for Craig Steadman are those two reds that aren't in a potable position just above the black spot, but Ronnie will try and develop them
18.
as quickly as possible. And he'll be concentrating really hard here, John, because he'll want to finish this as soon as possible. He won't want this match to drag on.
No, absolutely, and that's what impressed me yesterday in the first session. I know Craig had his chances, but Ronnie never lost his focus, apart from the shoe situation, but he never lost his focus. And he treated every shot on its merits, and treated his opponent with respect as well. 25. You've got to do that. You can't take liberties with people, and he never did it. And he made certain that if Craig was going to get anything out of this match, he'd have to play well. Well, this could be the key shot coming up now. You can leave a nice angle on the black and just 32. Nudge those two reds above the black into play. He's got a 10-point lead at the moment. It's not ideal on this red. This needs a good clean pot. No, they're not easy. Playing at pace.
32.
He just hit it to the far jaw. He's left it into the centre. Good pot, nice angle on the black to disturb these reds. Yeah, well played. Well played. Now a chance he must take, Craig.
9.
Had a chance at the end of the last frame. Didn't take it. What can you do here?
Yeah, the only real obstacle
16.
You can see is the brown. He's going to have to get from brown to blue. It's made it a little bit more difficult that the blue wasn't on its spot, but he's played for the blue to get it on its spot. At least it'll be a little bit easier from brown to blue now. Well, 12 points to lead. Just looking and working it out, he only needs
22.
Up to and including the brown. He doesn't need the blue to get to snooker's required. So this is a glorious opportunity.
24.
Although we'd like to have had better position on the green than this.
Yeah, can he get around the back of the Brown here. May have to go into it, develop it. Can he avoid it? May have to kiss it and trust a bit of luck, and he's got it. And it was a nice kiss. That could have gone wrong. So just the brown, just concentrating the brown. We saw him missing a black for frame yesterday. Oh, just pot the brown. Don't worry about the blue, Craig.
27.
And he's done it again. What an opportunity. Might get another one. Well done.
4.
It's amazing that Brown was so much more difficult than the one he missed. That will certainly
9.
make him feel better. Oh, well played, Craig Steadman. Eventually taking the frame and puts his arrears now to 5, but it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who still leads by 8 frames to 3. Well, we saw quite a few misses in that frame, John, from both players. Ronnie had a good chance. He had a misread into the corner pocket when he looked like he was going to extend his lead, and as you said, they're not straightforward. He's trying to use a lot of top spin coming off the top cushion, side cushion, get a nice angle on the black, and this is what happened.
Yes, this would have been the frame winner had it gone in, but it didn't, and it looked for all money then that Craig Steadman was going to win the frame in one visit, but he missed the brown. I don't think he was really playing for the blue, but it just had a little bit of tension, and he hit the brown so thick. And you thought then, well, that was another frame-winning opportunity gone, but Ronnie didn't punish him, and he got the frame eventually. I mean, I always think with these first-round matches, just from a pride point of view, he wants to take it past the interval, but there's the brown that Ronnie missed. Very surprising. Half-ball pot. Won't miss many of those in a match.
Yeah, it was quite surprising. It wasn't really even that close, was it? But
Thank you,
maybe
Craig,
disappointed,
12.
Ronnie.
Craig Steadman to break.
So Craig Steadman breaks off frame 12. Certainly happy getting the frame on the board this morning. As he covered this red, he has.
There you go, 3 hours exactly. Both players have been playing at a pretty good tempo. Ronnie usually averaging around about, well, I've seen him as low as 16, but normally I'd say he's averaged 17, 18, 19. And that's pretty quick from Craig Steadman. He hasn't come out here, tried to slow Ronnie down, hasn't used any sort of tactics like that. Ooh, close, unlucky. And the average frame time, just over 16 minutes. It's been quick fire snooker. 1 or 2 frames have got bogged down, but in the main, both players have got on with it. In fact, just looking at it, the last frame was the longest one. It's just under 23 minutes. It was always a difficult shot, that. He was playing that with a lot of right-hand side to try and avoid the kiss on the second red. And, of course, once you play with side over that distance, very hard to judge how the cue ball's going to throw.
Good length with the cue ball there from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Craig Steadman just having a look into the pack. Will he be knocking a red towards this right corner pocket when playing this safety shot? No, and he's played it pretty well. This looks very good indeed. Excellent shot.
Get out of that, as they say. The obvious target is the red that's in the middle of the top cushion, but getting there is another matter.
Foul on the miss. Craig Steadman.
Well, if this red is on, I think it is, he can just nudge the black into a potable position as well. Good. Problem being now, though, black spot is covered. Black will go on the pink spot, which means it will be out of commission for a while. You see, quite rightly, touched the red first, knocked it into position. Okay, he'll be able to take the red off the black spot now, but quite difficult to get back up for the blue, John. I'm just wondering, will he try and bring the pink into play here?
Yeah, I think that would be a good plan.
Oh.
Well, that's what happens, you see, when you're not actually stroking the ball. And he hit that so hard. There was no need to hit it that hard, but sometimes you're just trying to force things. It looks worse, of course, when the ball doesn't go in the pocket. But he didn't want to risk playing for the pink. And maybe he should have done. Maybe he should have just stunned it in, played for the pink, got the pink on the black spot, and tried to work out a sizable contribution from there. Whatever, he shouldn't have missed the red.
1. Five. 6.
Well, there's a couple of loose reds, but if he just goes right at the black, well, he run into the black. I don't necessarily think that was the intention, but it's worked out okay. He's got a red to the left middle, not one you like,
11.
Because you're having to roll it in, but he could play for the black, get the black on its spot, and then anything could happen. Yeah, it was one of those. It looked straightforward enough, but okay, he's just missed it. But you saw that he ran into the black. So it wasn't just a straightforward pot for position. And that's sometimes what makes the pot more difficult.
One. Six.
Well, as I say, I was talking to him yesterday and he said he was waiting for the crucible nerves to kick in. Signs they are this morning, young man.
Yeah, that's a couple of golden opportunities. Sometimes looking at him, John, and he seems to be... We talked about his time on the shot as well, but he seems to be getting down very, very quickly to the next pot and not really having a look around and taking a bit of time. You've got to compose yourself. You can't... It's okay playing quick, but no point in rushing.
Eight.
He's missed a lot of straightforward shots.
Nine.
Well, he's just seeing what's available. I think he's got a nice enough angle on the back. Worst way, he could play for the red to the right middle. But wanting to retain position on the black, but I don't think he will be able to now off this red. He'll have to go up for the...
16.
Well, probably the baulk colour, because I don't think the blue goes into the right middle. Needs to stop short of the baulk line, though. That's
7.
a bit careless. A little bit careless.
Well, that just flew off the cushion now, I think. And then he got a flyer. These cushions, as we said, they are springing.
He's just a little bit annoyed with himself. So having to play the snooker behind the green. He was annoyed because he wanted to clear up and win the frame. As you said earlier, Ken, they're so quick, these tables. You just put maybe a little trace aside on it and that'll speed it up even more. But in the meantime, Craig Steadman has got a problem here. Once again, I'd suggest trying to hit the red that's in the middle of the top cushion, but how do you get there?
Something like this, John. Very, very difficult snooker to get out of, but 3 cushions, possibly 4 cushions. Down onto the red, directly behind the black.
He's looking at your line. He's looking at the line.
He's just got to be careful. One off the first or the second with the third cushion here, that it doesn't square it up. Well,
hit the wrong ball.
That might be okay. Well, that's worked out a treat. Okay, he's got the red into the right centre, but it's a very acute angle. May not even attempt that, so... He's had a result there.
He's in a spot of bother here. He can only hit the one red. And, well, sometimes when you're in a position where you haven't got a good safety, you've got a pot on, may take this on. If he pots it, it'd be on the black, but I don't see a safety. It's a big shot. Did take it on. Double kiss could have been dangerous, but it's not too bad. Don't think there's anything there that will tempt Ronnie. As I say, there was no safety, so you might as well go all out for the pot. Well, can he pot this red? Got to avoid the off in the middle. Oh!
1.
Well, the reason I thought he wouldn't play that red, it looked for all money it was always an in-off, but Ronnie judged it to perfection.
One good positional shot here from Brown to Reds, just to the left of the black.
Five. Six.
Cued that in nicely. You'd expect him to win the frame from this position.
30.
23 points in the lead.
$40. $21. $22.
It's come a little bit awkward. Bridging still should be okay.
Well, he's a bit closer to the concussion than he would like. He's got a
27.
37-point lead. These two reds in the middle of the table with colours would be more than enough to clinch this frame. Well, I'm surprised he played that one. I really am surprised he played that red rather than the other one. Look, as though he could have rolled the other one in and been nicely on the black. Okay, the kissed into the other red, and maybe he's thinking, well, if I did that, I might knock it near the cushion, so that's why he chose that red, but whichever way, he shouldn't have missed it. Nice pot with the rest.
1.
Yes, and we all know how much of a perfectionist Ronnie O'Sullivan is, but these type of chances that he's not taking, John, will really annoy him.
Yeah, but to be fair to him, I think the last couple of seasons he's kept his emotions under control. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It wasn't that long ago where he'd have really been getting annoyed now, but I think he's more in control of what happens and accepts that you can't put every ball on the table.
Yeah. Absolutely. Probably put it down to working with Dr. Steve Peters. Has been a great help to him, as he says many times himself, Ronnie. Gotta be careful of that yellow, his waistcoat. Good pot.
6.
And there's a nice angle on the black. You can just nudge the red off the cushion here. Yeah, lovely shot. Still got a lot of work to do. That will
30.
help. Now does this red pot into the left centre.
$40.
Yeah, a couple of positions here. If the red does pot into the centre, the circle behind the red, would be ideal for the cue ball, but even he could get the cue ball right onto the cushion right behind the red and have the red into the opposite middle. So a lot of margin for error here.
Oh, another black missed off the
Craig Steadman,
spot.
14.
How many times has that let him down? It's usually in the other pocket. Oh, what a pity. Whatever chance he had. Well, he's going to get another one because Ronnie has just lost his focus at the moment. So 23 points the difference, but it's a big ask, particularly with the yellow tight on the baulk cushion. Now we see Ronnie's miss and a wry smile, almost a grimace really.
One.
This is the tricky one, the yellow. May play the green actually, offer him a better opportunity. If the brown wasn't in the way, he could pot the blue and maybe cannon the yellow. Might be able to get the cannon off the green. He decided to play on the yellow, but this is a toughie. If it's tight against the cushion, it's easier than if it's just off.
4.
Very difficult though, isn't it? No. Very tough pot.
Craig
Has he
Steadman,
got the
4.
cover? I don't think so.
No, you can always tell. Look at the body language of the player. Looked up to the heavens when he saw that Ronnie can get through the gap. But they're always tough. As I say, if they're tight against the cushion, they have a tendency to cling. But that yellow was just slightly away from the cushion. Made it more difficult. Ronnie needs yellow and green.
Two.
Just the green needed. Checking the scoreboard. The green would put him 24 points in front with just 22 remaining. So no heroics.
5.
Amazing snooker players. Look at the scoreboard. They pop the ball in. Look at it again. You know, just to double check. So
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5.
24 points in it. 22 remaining. 1 snooker required. And looking at the table, Ken, there's only the blue really you can snooker behind.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy task, is it? He has a chance here, stunned behind the blue. Brown up and down the table. Really wanted to get the cue ball tighter to the blue there.
So in goes the brown. And that will be the frame well and truly in the bag.
Nine.
Just having a problem at the moment, Ronnie, with the pace of the table, particularly when he's coming off the cushions, but it didn't matter.
9.
Once
And
he
the frame.
potted the brown and blue,
Ronnie
that was it. Yes, Craig Steadman concedes, so Ronnie O'Sullivan marches on. And he now leads by 9 frames to 3 and just 1 frame away from a place in the second round. You asked me early on, Ken, what I thought about Ronnie's performance in the first session, and I said I was quite impressed. I thought he was cueing well and everything else. And looking at him today, I think he's still cueing well. I think he's just lost a little bit of focus. But, of course, that can happen when your opponent starts missing quite a bit. And, you know, you sort of sat there, not feeling sorry for the guy by any means, but it just throws you out of a rhythm. And that's another shot that
you're expecting chances all the time, aren't you? When you sort of relax, you lose your concentration. And as I said, he wants to finish this match as soon as possible, and in style, Ronnie O'Sullivan. But his focus is not there this morning. And these are just a catalogue of some of the misses from Craig Steadman. It's been a tough match for Craig, there's no doubt about that. But it will be a good learning experience as well. He'll look back on it and say, look at what he did wrong.
Down, please. Frame 30.
Take it into next season. But
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break. Don't call out when the players are at the table, please.
better break off from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Snooker and Craig Steadman on all reds here.
Well, he's playing the swerve here and trying to get the cue ball in the jaws of this pocket, but it's a dangerous shot to play. Well, I think he's got it safe enough.
Fantastic pot. Pink goes to left centre. He'll be bringing more reds into play here. It was a beautiful opening red. Set this chance up, black available.
Eight.
Now can we see a sizable break from Ronnie O'Sullivan? Just wiped its feet a little bit. Just went to the near jaw.
50. $60.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier on that Ronnie has not actually turned it on this morning,
23.
but he'll be aware. He likes to perform. I mean,
24.
That's one thing you've got to remember about a snooker player or any sportsman, really. I mean, people come in to see the best players and see them at the best. And Ronnie will be well aware that this Pat Crucible Theatre here this morning have come
31.
to see him produce the goods. All right, he made 104 break. That was his highest in
32.
the first frame of the match, funnily enough, when he had a chance of a maximum. But since then, he's sort of, you know, he's won good frames with 70 odds and things like that, but nothing approaching the 100. But he'd like to sign off with one here if he could, and give his legion of fans something to cheer about.
39. 40.
Couple of reds still available. One on balk, one to the left of the pink.
$47. 48.
just misjudged the kiss on the second red. He was hoping to be on the pink into the middle pocket, but caught that red too full. Pulled a few faces in this match, as Ronnie. More annoyed because he wanted to finish with a good break now. Is he going to take the pot on the yellow one, just out of frustration? Well, terrific pot. Now, needs to kiss the blue full to be on the red. Doesn't want to be hampered. And he is hampered. Just shows you, once you play one bad positional shot, it's hard to recover the situation. Oh, but what a pot that was.
51.
Great shot. Oh, that was tough. Cue ball bouncing. Now try and get on the red behind the black here. No. Just struggling a little bit.
54.
Not quite certain what he played there, really. And if he was going to try and screw directly into him, well, you need a lot more pace than that.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 54.
Well, 54, but he'd be disappointed if he didn't win the frame and match at that visit. As I say, not quite certain what he played there. The line of the cue ball was never a good one. But that could be Craig Steadman's last shot in this year's World Championship. He's left a nice easy red to the corner for Ronnie, and if he gets on a colour, surely that's match over. But fair play to Craig Steadman. He went off the tour, had to go back to Q school to get his card, to get back on the main tour, and has come through those 3 tough qualifying matches to get here.
Yeah, a couple of really good scalps as well, particularly Michael White, who's already won a tournament this year. Well, 2 tournaments. Won the shootout in Blackpool and then won the Indian Open. So he was a player in a lot of good form.
5.
And of course Jamie Burnett in the final qualifying round as well. So he's done very well, Craig Steadman. And it was always going to be a tough draw. Playing a 5-time winner of this event.
There you see the score. So just the red to go 65 ahead with only 59 remaining. So this to go 70 points in front. And with just the 59 left on the table, I don't think Craig Steadman will bother coming
60.
back to the table, but it has been a learning experience, and of course a great experience to play one of the most naturally talented players the game has ever seen at the home of snooker, the Crucible.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 60.
Well, he's thinking about it, but it should be enough for Ronnie. 70 points in front, 3 snookers needed. Just savouring his last few moments, but if he's snookered, they can just get through to the black. That pocket that has been the bane of his life. He's missed a few blacks in that pocket that have maybe cost him certainly a couple of frames I can remember.
Nine.
In an ideal world, he'd like to have left this red on the table, the one near the top cushion. But he wasn't able to do that. He'll leave the last red on the table, thinking of trying to get a snooker and a free ball.
60. 70.
Didn't play for the last red, as I say. He's hoping now he can get a snooker and force Ronnie to miss it and get a free ball, and then only one snooker would be required. At the moment, it's 3.
Craig Steadman, 24.
Well, he's got half a snooker. It should be an easy swerve for Ronnie. If it had got a flick on the black, it may have been a snooker, but there's the dreaded gap. That's the way to do it. Well, this has worked out nicely. It's worked out very nicely indeed. And this isn't a guaranteed hit, particularly if he tries to come round off 2 cushions. You've got to avoid the black here. He's just looking at the scoreboard. So, going the safer way. Doesn't want to leave a free ball if he should miss it. So playing it with just enough pace to hit the red. And did so nicely. Easy enough to hit. But playing at that pace has left himself open to being snookered again. Problem is, he'd like to leave a lot of distance between cue ball and object ball. I'm not certain he can do that here. He's trying to punch the red up the table and get tight in behind the black if he can. No, misjudged it. And I think he's left the red on, and that will definitely now be his last shot. In it goes. Of course, it's not etiquette to concede while your opponent's at the table, but I'm certain Craig would like to shake Ronnie's hand now. So, as I say, he got back on the main tour this season, Craig Steadman, and has done very well to qualify for the last 32 of the World Championship here at the Crucible.
5.
And what a wonderful experience I hope he's had.
8.
He certainly proved in the first session that he was capable of mixing it with the best, and just a few blacks unexpectedly missed cost him a couple of frames. But it's been,
12.
in all honesty, quite a comfortable workout for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Never had to find top gear. But for
70.
me, he's cueing nicely. So no reason why, once again, he isn't one of the main contenders.
23.
And of course, favourite for the tournament. And I don't think that will change. So in goes the black, out goes the hand, shakes Craig Steadman by the hand and says, well done, has a little chat with him. And Ronnie, very well liked by the other players on the circuit, he really is, and he always feels for them when they don't play the best, and there you see the reaction of the crowd. They love watching Ronnie play. Well done, Craig Steadman, for getting here. But at the end of the day, it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who runs out a comfortable winner by 10 frames to 3. He's in the second round.
Keep the noise down, please. Thank you.
Play will resume on this table at 2:30, and it'll be the second session between the two Welshmen, Mark Williams and Matthew Stevens. And at the moment, Matthew Stevens has got a handy lead. Mark Williams needs to up his game. Look forward to your company then.